Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be story time. Anytime I wear this robe, it'll be story time because I'm like comfy and cozy. So when I get comfy and cozy, I want to tell a story. Along, I have my chorizo and eggs. You know I love cooking, but I didn't make this from scratch. I will be making some chorizo from scratch shortly. I just did my chilies. I'm gonna show you how I do my chilies now. I don't like straining them because to me I feel like it's wasting the chilies. To me, I feel like when I strain chilies, I feel like when you get a jalapeno, you don't strain that. Like you're eating the whole thing. So and the seeds, but with the seeds with the guajillos and the New Mexicos, I'll throw that out. But I would do my chilies in a powder form, so it can use the whole thing. So I actually got this chorizo from Sprouts, and it's all right. It's all right. It's nothing. It's like the one in the tube, the real skinny one, the one that costs like $1.99 from Walmart. That one is like bomb compared to this. That one has so much flavor, but I was told that chorizo isn't authentic. I know it's not authentic, and it tastes like trash compared to the authentic one. So I don't know if I actually tried the authentic one, but we're gonna be making some. I never made it before, so you'll be learning something how I'm learning it too. Okay. So what you can expect to see on my channel is me cooking. I'm gonna start doing skits and bits. So I'm gonna be putting on some costumes and having some characters or whatever. I'm going to be doing stuff with my unicycle. I'm going to be doing stuff with my hair and spiritual stuff. I grew up Baptist, and I have so many questions that nobody can answer and everything when I was a child. So as I got older, some of those questions got answered and everything. So I would say now I'm spiritual. I'm way more spiritual than being a Baptist or whatever. But I'm checking out some religions. I want to learn more about more American religions and everything. But I'm going to take you back to the beginning when I got my first shot. That was when I was living in California. I had got a shot on my butt. Before that, I started taking estrogen. I was like, let me try this and see what it does. It was for hot flashes. I didn't know at the time, but I wanted to try something. I think I had got a box of those, and I was popping them and everything. I went to the clinic that was in my city, and they said we don't do transgender care here. The place you would have to go is San Francisco, and that was like over 300 miles away. And I was young. I didn't have a car, so there was no possible way I can get all the way out there and back. So I did my first shot by Carolina. She gave me my shot. That needle was so big. Oh my god, I was so scared. But it was a Mexican hormone from Mexico. It actually made me eat so much, and I wasn't on spironolactone at that. I wasn't on anything else. I was just on the shots. So what I come to find out, those estrogen is basically progesterone. And the reason I can tell the difference is because estrogen itself does not make me eat. It doesn't make me hungry. The progesterone does. So when I got my shot the very first time, I was so hungry. You know what I did? I took my butt to McDonald's because I was craving McDonald's, and I got me, what was it? I think it was a quarter pounder. I told them to add 3 more patties on there, so it was a total of 5 patties. Oh my god, I was so hungry. It was so fucking good. I tore that thing up and I was still hungry, and that kind of blew my mind because just eating a burger alone at that time, I was really skinny and I didn't barely have an appetite. So I was able to eat that, and I was still hungry on top of that. So it was so cool. I loved it. But when I had moved to Hawaii, I was going to a doctor out there. His name is Dr. Rodwell. May he rest in peace. He was the hormone doctor to go to. Shout out to you, doctor. But when I got that shot, he gave me a booster, which was progesterone. And so basically, do I have a syringe next to me? So basically, I'm gonna use my dilator. So basically, like, say, like, this is the syringe, right? Like, it'll be this much of estrogen, and he'll put, like, the same amount of progesterone in it to inject. And he'll give me a shot every week. We'll pay him $20, or I forgot if it was $10 or $20 a shot every week. It wasn't bad at all. It was doable. And if he didn't have the money, 1 week he'll let you slide or whatever. It was cool. So right after your shot, automatically you get fucking hungry. And I used to go hit up L&L's, get my barbecue short ribs, all rice, because it comes with mac salad. I didn't like mac salad because I didn't like mayonnaise. And oh my god, I would tear that food up, honey. I would tear that up. And I went to him every week religiously. I was one of those queens back in the days. I was on top of my shit. I would do my shot every week, but at the same time, I wasn't on progesterone. And I didn't see any breast growth. Dr. Rodwell told me, since you're black, your breast is going to grow faster than any other girl. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to grow that much, because my mom's chest, she's flat. She has like an A cup, A, or like a small B cup. So I knew I wasn't going to have no breasts or whatever. I was fine with it, but I wanted breasts. One fun fact about your girl, I used to work on the block. Yep. Your girl used to work on the block, honey. I never wanted to work on the block. I never saw myself doing that. I gotten raped by this guy. I had a full-time job. I was working security, and basically I got raped, and he came home with me basically. So he knew where I lived at. He knew where I worked at. So I told Securitas, can you please change my location? Because I told him what happened. I showed them the police report, everything. They said, we're not changing your locations. So, since they didn't want to do that, I didn't want to work for them anymore. So, I was renting out a room where I was living at. And I think I was paying like $550 a month, it wasn't bad. It was cool, but they didn't want to change my locations. So I saw one of my friends. Her name is she passed away. She was murdered. Her name is Jalen, and she was working a block. I seen her one day, and she told me. I told her what was going on. She told me, come with her on the block. You got to do what you got to do to pay your rent. So I went with her on the block. She showed me the ropes. My first John was Frank from Frank T Girls. He wanted me to do a photo shoot. I did. I felt so degraded afterwards because I never did anything like that. He paid me $500. I was able to pay my rent. And on top of that, we had a date. So it was basically, I think, $600. So back in the day, when I was working a block, head went for $100. $400. Sex was actually more at the time, and I think it was like $150. That was on Merchants, Merchant Street. Now there's a lot of places in Hawaii where you can actually go and work the block. Merchants was more of that high class type of girl. Then there's back streets where there's the druggies and everything. And then there's Waikiki where there's like the pimps, the real fishes. There's a spot in back streets where the real fishes go too. I don't know about now. Your girl's retired. It's been well over 10 years. I knew it wasn't for me. A lot of people used to come up and ask me, why do I do this kind of work? Even the girls on the blog, they're like, girl, you don't need to be out here. This is not for you. Blah, blah, blah. You're too nice. You're too loving. You're going to be somebody's wife someday. And I'm like, I know I'm going to be somebody's wife. But it was fast money. And I was pumping hormones. I'm gonna insert some clips of some videos. I mean, not videos, some pictures how I used to dress when I used to go out. I will admit it was very fun. It was very fun and freeing. I will say that. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. It's just memories. I love it. But so when I first went out there, I used to wear clear heels. But after, I think 6 months after I got like acquainted to the streets and everything, I got used to like wearing heels like every day, constantly. I used to look so fucking cute. I used to make some money, honey. And I started wearing black heels or any other heels that's not clear because it was very clocky. And I didn't want to go to a store or after work or whatever in my heels, going to a store and they were like, oh yeah, she's a hooker, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want that attention on me. So I would wear regular heels. And there's some nights where it's like real slow too. So, and when it's real slow, guys will come up and they'll ask you, you want to go out to eat with me, or you want to go to the club? And I'm like, I would take them up on their offer. One day, this one Asian guy picked me up. He gave me a Molly. Yeah, I did a Molly. I used to, my favorite drug years ago was ecstasy. I am a recovering addict from meth. I've been clean for so many years. I don't even know how long. I had to get away from the meth to not crave it. And so, but I wasn't popping like ecstasy like that, like how I was on meth. So, so when somebody's high on meth, I know the symptoms and everything. I did have the body by Crystal, honey, but I was always skinny, so it actually made me skinnier. But when I was high, I never knew how thin I was. I just thought I was the shit. But that's another story. Your girl's clean and sober. I don't drink. I don't smoke. That's another story too about drinking. I used to drink though. Your girl used to drink, but I left it alone. I wanted to just smoke weed or whatever. So I stayed with weed for these past years. Back to that date. So he took me to his house. Tell me why. We go to his room. He gave me the ecstasy or whatever. I pop it. And when I go in the room, he has like on each corner of the bed, he had shackles. I was like, that's kind of weird. But then he showed me this freaking device. It looked like a power drill with a fucking dildo on it. And I was like, oh, hells no. The freaking, it was like a handheld, like, but it was it had a dildo attached to it. And it was long. And, oh, the thoughts that went through my head when I saw that, I was like, I gotta go. You gotta take me back. He took me back. I popped that when I already had that. I popped that ecstasy already, right? So when I got back, when I got back on the block, that's when it hit, bitch. Oh my goodness, I was rolling, honey. So when it started to kick in, I had to go home, honey. I had to go home because it was crazy. When I went home, I laid down. This one I was smoking Newports, right? The Newports was next to me. I was laying down, and oh my God, I was like, I'm gonna get up. I had to literally get up, sit up, and reach over to grab my Newports, and so I was like, I'm gonna get up, and I'm gonna grab my cigarettes. Tell me why I thought I already grabbed my cigarettes and I had it right here, and I pulled one out and I put it to my lips and I lit it. I was so fucked up. It was so fun. Oh my God. And oh my God, I have stories after stories I can tell you that's from the block. Oh my God. Oh my God. But I think it took like 3 days for it to, like, I felt that stuff was like potent. Whatever he gave me, that shit was potent. Just like the last time I took an ecstasy with my cousin Paul. May he rest in peace. So I took a little trip, probably like a month. I came to stay with a friend of mine. And my cousin picked me up from her house, and we went to the club. It was me, my cousin Paul, and our homegirl Shati. I can't be saying people's name out, but it rhymes with Fatima. Okay. We had a fucking blast. Oh my God. The days. I'm like so all over the place. But I was talking about dating. I was talking about story time. And I was talking about hormones and food. Yes. So rewind that back to being on the block. So normally I will get ready. I would get ready and I would leave the house by like 9 or like 10. And I'll just have my heels on, have my dress on. I'll be looking fucking cute. And I won't come home until like 3 or 4 in the morning. Everybody's sleeping and stuff like that. I actually loved working out on the block because before then I was a heavy smoker. And so I when I ran out of cigarettes, I basically never had money. I wasn't budgeting my money right before I worked on the block. And so when I started working on the block, I was able to buy my own cigarettes, like when I wanted to, when I ran out and everything, or stuff that I needed. Oh my god, I gotta get ready for work. But we're gonna continue this tomorrow. Okay, so back to the story. This is the next day. Sorry for being away, but yeah, before I worked on the block, I would always be bumming cigarettes from people. It was to the point I was so bad smoking cigarettes that I had to have my cigarettes. If I didn't have none, especially I didn't have any money, I would go raid people's ashtrays and businesses' ashtrays. Yes, I was very bad with smoking. So I'm so glad I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I went from smoking cigarettes to vaping with the nicotine. I like that so much better. And I was able, I didn't start that until I moved to Maryland. I stopped smoking cigarettes when I came to Maryland, and I was with my ex-boyfriend when I was living in Glen Burnie. And sorry, I'm all over the place. We're gonna iron out the kinks or whatever. But yeah, his friend was working at his friend was a bail bondsman. So when we went in there, I seen them all like vaping on a pen, and I'm like, what the hell is that? And they're like, oh, we quit smoking cigarettes and we vape now. And I was like, ooh, I want to do that. So on my birthday, I started vaping. And that was the last time I smoked a cigarette until when I was in my apartment, my last apartment where I had mold. My ex was smoking cigarettes and everything. And when I didn't have any money and I was nicking real bad, I'll get a cigarette from him, or I will bum a cigarette. But I wasn't like how it was like a long time ago, where I was so like, I was a fiend, bitch. I'm so glad I'm not in that space anymore. But hells yes. When I worked on the block, it had to be at least 15 years ago, because I've been in Maryland at least 9 years. So it had to be longer than that. Probably like 15 years, 15 or 16 years. Like it's been some time. It's been some time. But after I went from Hawaii to Cali to go visit my friend for a month, and I went to go to the club with my cousin Paul. I went back to Hawaii, and did I try meth? Well, yeah, I was on meth. So back to the streets. I didn't work the block until I got raped. Then I started working the block. So I stayed in that space for like a few years actually, and then I had to take a trip to my grandma's funeral. And it was so weird because once I went to her funeral in South Carolina and I came back to Hawaii, it was like there was no dates. And I don't know if it was my grandma's spirit urging me not to work on the block, but it was like so fucking dead. And So a lot of the girls, they went from working on the streets to working on Craigslist or working on what is that website? Um, Backpage. So I started making back pages and everything. I started doing dates on there. My first date was like 300. I think, I don't know if it was Craigslist or Backpage, but I was doing out calls because I was always living with somebody. I was homeless too, staying in a shelter. I stayed in the shelter for like 6 months at a time. So, and I was still working on the block at the same time. I went from working on the block to working at TGI Fridays, but still living in that shelter. So, it was like I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to work on the block because, like, to me, I felt like I was getting ready for nothing and going out on the block and not, like, it was bad. Whereas what happened was there was no dates and I started smoking meth more, and it was to the point where I didn't want to go out when I got high. So when I did go out, I would go to back streets where the druggies was and everything. So over there, head went for 40 instead of 100. And to be honest, I don't even think I had had sex. I think it was only oral on back streets. But it just got out of hand. I'm so glad I'm not in that line of work anymore. I'm so glad. Your girl is retired, honey. A retired hoe. Cause you know now. So your girl's working a 9 to 5 right now. I'm gonna be doing some big things before this year is up, honey. Cause I need my own. I'm staying with somebody. I do not want to live here. Let's make that clear. This is only temporary. Your girl got some plans in the works. I'm not going to speak on it right now because I don't want to jinx it. But I will be posting. I will be posting every day. I'm going to give you valuable content and everything. Because that's how your girl is. It's quality over quantity, okay? The quantity will come over time. So, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to your girl, because I'm going to be spitting all the real shit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, candy coat it. I'm not that type. I'm a straight shooter. Some people know me. Some people think I'm a bitch because I'm told I have a resting bitch face. Oh well. But once you get to know me, people love me. I know you'll love me. If you already do, I love you too. But I'm gonna end the video here. And y'all stay good, be good, and holla at your girl. Mwah, mwah, mwah.